Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and we have reached quite the strategic turning point on what is sure to be the most talked about episode of the season on the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council. Oh, hey, yo, 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 hey, yeah, oh, hey, yo, hey, yeah. And now, with us tonight is the guy who I am currently embarrassing by singing the My Dorky Survivor theme song in front of his roommates, AdvBlueDude. How you doing?
Hello.
And our dear friend who's kind of the mutual party in all of this, you're Voxel, right? Not Vipra.
I am Voxel today. I'm not Vipra. I'm not somehow suddenly competing like you thought earlier today.
Yeah. Okay, so we got some chatter going on the end of AdvBlueDude / Joker Wild. So, but you know what? He was kind of an integral part of all this, at least in the pre-merge stage of the game. So we're gonna get into it. But to set the tone, AdvBlueDude, who got voted out?
Swyland.
Swyland got voted out. This was like. Basically, Swyland and England were the big fantasy draft picks, top draft picks for both you and me. Bam, England gets hit at 8th place, Swyland gets hit at 6th place. What do you think? Those two big power players, arguably the strongest threats in the game, down before Final 5.
I mean, it makes sense in such a strategic game, so it doesn't surprise me at all, honestly. Yeah.
All right, Voxel. Voxel. Your name is Voxel, and I need to keep that in my head. Wow. Okay, as someone who has kind of an outsider perspective on this, what was your reaction to what went down?
I'm surprised he wasn't taken out sooner, to be honest. Like Joker says, or AdvBlueDude, however we want to call him today, Swyland and England were your two top players.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely like the veterans of the board in terms of like they have a ton of experience. I mean, we've mentioned time and time again on the show England's ridiculous Batman-esque resume that he has of just everything, and then Swyland, he's just a really good force himself. So yeah, this was a power move though, and we're gonna get all into it. Let's start the show off with a bang though. Alfred E. Joker might appreciate that. You want to start the show off with a bang, Alfred E. Joker? All right, let's do it. Myself, ID Institute, and Joker's Wild have been in a three-way alliance since the beginning of the game, since pre-game itself, called what else? The Survivor Know-It-Alls. Because Rob's the best. Know-it-all. Steven should have never made the call. Yeah, and that's a reference you all get. Indeed.
I understand that.
No, you don't.
I have no clue.
It's a podcast. The Survivor Know-It-Alls, the reason we came up with the Know-It-Alls name is it is the podcast that basically without the Survivor Know-It-Alls podcast, you guys wouldn't see me sitting here making a jackass out of myself trying to explain my strategic moves every week. Because that's essentially what Rob Cesternino does on a weekly basis with Stephen Fish back. They are the Survivor Know-It-Alls. They know the most about Survivor, even though neither of them have never won Survivor. So IDI and myself, being big-time Survivor fans, we decided to go with an alliance, a pre-game thing, a pre-game arrangement, and we decided to bring Jokers on as the third person, and bam! Throughout the whole pre-merge, we were working together. Things got a little messy in the post-merge. That's what we're going to talk about in a bit. But before we get to that, before we get to all the strategy talk that you good folks turned in for to begin with, let's talk some projects. So first of all, Jokers, how's college been?
It's been college.
It's been college. Are you still in film school?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay, then answer my question. The question I ask every time you come back and you never have an answer to. Oh, what's your favorite episode? What's your favorite movie that you saw in film school while you were gone? Come on, spit out an answer.
Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive. All right, that's very respectable. Very respectable. Yeah. As my dad would say, I love lesbians. Yeah. I swear to God, that was a literal quote from my dad as I was watching that movie with my ex-girlfriend. Good times. Good times. Good times. All right. Anyways. So, Jokers, I kind of wanted to give you a bit of time to, since you've been gone, you've been living the frat life, and I will not call you out on any sort of, like, hey, what's the most embarrassing frat moment you've gotten yourself into this semester? Juicy details. None?
No, actually, no.
You didn't have to stick a hot dog somewhere in your nether regions or something like that?
No, thankfully.
None of that?
No.
All right. So,
Thank God.
you have missed out on every project of the post-merge.
Yeah.
This has not been strategic, I'm assuming.
What?
This has not been a strategic play on your end, I'm assuming.
Oh, no, it was absolutely strategic.
You're just that good of a Survivor player where it's like that because you can be taken out at any time. It's a classic goat strategy. I mean, it works from time to time. Philip Shepard perfected it. There's your Gallaghers, let's see. So it works.
That wasn't what I was going to try to do.
We have Russell Hance. Russell Hance doesn't think he's a dope, but he is definitely a big goat. So, there's some big goat players on Survivor. So, what do you think? Do you think you're going to get all the way to the final three based on literally doing nothing in the post-merge?
Well, it depends on what happens from here on out.
At this stage, I'm assuming that you're going to be cool whenever you go out and not be like,
oh, yeah, I don't fucking... I thought I was... Yeah, I thought I was talking about last project.
Right.
I've been expecting it for 3 weeks.
So, with that being said, though, I'd like to give you kind of an opportunity to flex your creative muscles a little bit in this way, in this kind of video format. Tell me, what were some of the projects that we had during the post-merge? You don't have to go through every single one, but just a few of them that stuck out to you that you really would like to have done if you had more time, and what kind of overall sort of vague concepts were you working with?
Well, the MGM expansion one was the one that I had fleshed out the most, because that's been my baby for about 1.5 years now, and I've never done it because I'm an idiot and procrastinating. But essentially, it was very similar to your project, but different. I mean, like, thematically, it was similar. So, I've had an obsession for a while with trying to really complete Sunset Boulevard, because Sunset Boulevard, that entire area, it's really the way it was built, the way it was designed, was kind of to represent, like, the dark underbelly of Hollywood. So what I wanted to do was expand.
And in that respect, Rock and Roller Coaster fits in like a sore thumb.
No, it fits in absolutely perfectly. It's absolutely seamless. But no. But,
I'm like, really? Because from what I mean, I've never been there, but from what I can see of it, that does not look like old school dark Hollywood to me.
Nope. So, like, what I wanted to do, though, is I wanted to try playing with it and to make a noir land. At the same time, it was going to sort of be offset. Get the fuck out! Leave! Go!
Whoa!
As my roommate.
One more of those, AdvBlueDude, and you'll have ourselves an R-rated podcast.
Yeah. He's high. I feel like dealing with him. I apologize.
Hey! Don't bring drug references into this thing now. Come on! We're crossing.
We gotta keep it clean like Disney. Come on, people.
All right.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for all of that.
I promised from the beginning this is going to be a lively show, and I think we're delivering.
For a time, but yeah, I want to play with that. There were twists and turns to my project.
Did M. Night Shyamalan come in and just like, hey, you know what? Humphrey Bogart should be dead the whole ride. Yeah. Sort of. I wanted to have a twist. Like, I wanted to do a... I wanted, like, I thought it'd be really cool to have a ride. Like, it would completely ruin rewritability. But, I wanted to have it where
It's like it's sort of like Dick Tracy's Crime Stoppers. You go on, ride the ride, you're taking out gangsters, and then you get to like this impassable point where it looks like the ride cannot go anywhere. Like you're surrounded by gangsters and everything, and then you hear cut, and you find out that you've been in a movie the entire time. You were an extra, and you're told to go backstage and return your car at the lot.
That's kind of similar to what I was playing with the African Queen concept that I was using.
Yeah,
kind of. Where it's like you're kind of on an adventure, but still kind of like on this filmmaking thing at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it'd be a cool idea that I want to play with, and I still want to. Hopefully I can finish that someday.
Any other projects that kind of jump out at you that you really would have liked to have gotten a hold of?
I really want to do the for the walkthrough. I really wanted to do a Mel Brooks one, and I asked Michael, and he wouldn't.
Hey, you're stepping on monkey's territory there, buddy.
No, just hear me out. I really wanted to do it where like it's just somewhere in Universal, and like there's like huge signs like Mel Brooks like loudspeakers like advertising this Mel Brooks experience, and he tells you like this way to the line, and as you're going through the line, it's like Mel Brooks describing everything that you'll see in the Mel Brooks experience, and then at the end you find out that the Mel Brooks experience is a gift shop.
That would be perfect.
That's great.
And I was so sad that our Michael.
Oh, come on!
Oh my
That's
God.
Amazing.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. I give you an A for effort for just thinking about that.
Yay.
Only thing that would make that better is if there was a flamethrower in the gift shop.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other?
No,
other
for the
projects?
not really for the water park project. I was so close to saying screw it, making a water park. Just like,
Which I would have loved
give
to
up.
see.
I know. I'm all for Waterworld's water park.
Just give up, go out with a bang. Waterworld theme.
You know, this topic has been mentioned one too many times. I feel like we need to create a thread dedicated to Waterworld.
Yes. Maybe it'd be a fun thread to just do like all kinds of like terrible Imagineering ideas that just do as great as possible, like Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Yes, you know, flames erupting from the water slides as you go by. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask, AdvBlueDude, what did you think of my Beverly Hills Chihuahua project? Or did you read it?
I didn't read it.
I did that you didn't read it. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
I've been busy at school. It's ruined me.
Did you read?
I will read it at some point, though.
Did you read any projects at all?
I haven't gotten a chance to.
Okay, fair enough. I was gonna ask.
I'm gonna speed read as we're going through these.
Okay. Wow, that's preparation for you.
It is. That's what they call me. Preparation.
Joker's preparation wild.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Preparation is my middle name.
I'll go with that.
Yep.
No.
Okay, so
no.
let's get into the. Let's see. We are on episode 8, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. I was looking at England's Goat Simulator.
I know you got memed.
Okay, no, currently we're on episode 9. Currently we're on episode 9, but we're recapping episode 8. Okay, so I was right.
Correct.
Okay, so we are going to go through the water park project for Universal Studios. This was an interesting one. I am very much in terms of armchair Imagineering. I got to admit, I might even prefer working with Universal Studios to working with Disney, just because I feel like Universal Studios in general, they kind of take risks a bit more than Disney does, and I feel like that in itself can lead to a lot more interesting ideas. I mean, look at what they do with Halloween Horror Nights. Like, you just cannot see stuff like that anywhere near a Disney park. So, like, I could honestly see, this is very far-fetched, but it also might be kind of a little bit of a spoiler for Season 13, so you want to be an Imagineer, so you might want to get your research done. Breaking Bad. in a Universal park. You know, it's like, because they have the cojones to pull it off. You know, something like that. So
Yeah.
I love designing with Universal. So let's go ahead and but.
I'm picturing I'm sorry, this is out of random, but I'm picturing like motion screens while people are mixing chemicals. So this thing.
Okay, well, I'm thinking like a motion simulator at the RV.
Okay, I'm actually picturing something interactive. Sorry, let's just get out the door.
Wait, so this isn't interactive?
I know, I wanted it interactive.
I was hoping it would be like a rock candy.
It's educational. We can put it into the chemistry section of Epcot, the new Walter White Chemistry Pavilion.
Innovation has an opening.
Oh god. Wow. Okay,
Hey,
so that just happened.
If they can have Met Labs in Walmart, why not Epcot?
Oh god. Okay. So I gotta say though, there is two of you now. What the?
Yes, there is.
What?
I don't even know.
Type shit. Wow.
Am I gonna have to kill the other?
The weird thing is, it looks like the one that's on like the far side of the street is like a delay, so it literally looks like you from the past. It's yes.
It's not even showing up for me.
It's not even showing up.
I'm gonna click it.
Click it.
Oh, it's nothing. There's nothing there.
Okay, I'm going to kill it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to kill your doppelganger.
Please do it.
Okay.
By the way, England loves our idea of a comp, our idea of goofball ideas.
Well, we should totally do that then.
Yeah.
We'll get right on that.
We'll get on it eventually.
And AdvBlueDude, just because I have you on air.
Now,
Gravity Falls.
guess who hasn't caught up?
You
I
need
will.
to. Oh my
I
god,
know I
that
do.
last episode was amazing. Oh my
I know
god.
I need to catch up.
Gravity
like this
Falls is
weekend.
wonderful. Okay, let's get back. So water parks. Are you guys fans of water parks at all, or are you like me, where you think kind of the whole subgenre of water parks is flawed to begin with?
I mean, it's flawed, but I like it.
I love water parks, but they're so hard to pull off.
So there's a lot of bad ones, but you like the ones that are actually good, like the Disney ones.
Well, I mean, even like the fun ones that are the cheap ones that are in amusement parks can be fun on a hot day. But when you're talking Imagineering and doing a water park, you're talking a much different beast.
It's tough. Yeah. Because water slides, on average, last less than a minute, I would say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your
So-
water slides, not even that, your safety precautions that people seem to kind of ignore. They're
That's the reason I don't go to water parks. I could go off on a tangent about how unsafe I think water parks are.
that I should send you. Okay, continue.
What, continue on my tangent?
No, continue with the story. I'm putting something on the forum about that.
Something on the forum about water parks?
Yep.
Okay. Well, for the record, I think water parks are unsafe both from the perspective of the ride and being able to drown, and also just from a chemical perspective, and you know what I mean by that? Yes.
Hey, that warm water is safe.
All right. So I don't like, but Voxel, you raised some really good points about how it's challenging in terms of armchair Imagineering, because slides, they can only offer so much when it comes to theme, and it's like even what Disney does, they did it very well. They had the good idea to have kind of a mountain for both of their different water parks, both their main water parks at least, and kind of have that be the focal point. So that being said, let's kind of take a look at some of the water parks that were presented here, and we'll start with Vipra's Mystery Atoll. Yeah, so what do you guys think of this one?
It was great. I definitely read it. It was a really,
I'm sure
really
you
very
did.
good concept.
I'm sure you did.
I'm gonna read it.
I like the idea, though it does seem similar to the rumor mills of what type of water park they are building, or they want to build over Universal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering how much is this kind of based on. I mean, it's obvious it's got some basis on the rumored water parks.
My problem with this is that I just didn't really feel like there was a ton of detail to it. It's just kind of like, yeah, we're going to have a wave pool, and we're going to have a lazy lit river, and an idyllic lagoon, and volcano hot springs, and a splashdown, and a water coaster. You guys realize that these are essentially just functions of every water park that he's just listing off here.
And for me, looking at this design, it's so similar to Monorail Reds, and I think England was a part of that project. They did an indoor water park in a volcano.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's extremely similar in design, and they went to a level of above and beyond detail that seeing this is kind of like, I want to see something more.
Yeah.
Even something a simple map would have helped.
Yeah, speaking of that, I don't necessarily even think this was the best presented project. I mean, like, visually, it sure looks better than my blog, I'll give them that, but...
visually, it's phenomenal, but it needs a map.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, yeah, because it's like you can list down all the attractions you want, but at the end of the day, we're still kind of left like... I mean, like, just take, for example, like, we have walkways. 2 scenic walkways make their way around the island, providing scenic views of the park and Mount Mystery. Well, that's not very specific. It's like, how big are these walkways?
Yeah, and, I mean, I love that part, but I'm with you. I want more information. I mean, I love the idea of a scenic walkway. I mean, one of my pet projects is build Mount Fuji and actually have a path to the top of Mount Fuji in the Japan of Epcot.
Oh, that'd be cool. I could see that. Yeah.
Because I think Disney can get away with that, and I think Universal could. It's not done. Walkways.
I know Gator World actually has a fantastic walkway. They have like a boardwalk that goes into the Everglades with like live alligators and stuff like that. So yeah, if Gator World can do it, why can't Disney? That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the thing about this to me is that this was the winning project, which I found kind of surprising, just given the bare bones ideas at play here. I really don't think he went anywhere out of his way to like differentiate this. He's just like, okay, it's a water park, gonna have like a vague sort of volcano theme to it. Like, we have like a paragraph a piece on 2 restaurants, and overall, there's just not anything here that really grabs me. It's all very nicely presented. I just don't necessarily think the ideas at play are anything to write home about, really. I can't. This is one of the projects where I kind of wish that we would have seen R. Michael's like full thought process.
I think project-wise, what he's offering as like an elevator speech and something quick and dirty and to the point is brilliant. But I want more. I think what kills it is the lack of, like you said, lack of detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, it just seems like, it's just like, okay, let's have a volcano, and then let's just incorporate all the basic elements you'd see at a water park, and that's basically about it. So. And
I will also say the name kind of throws me off because I was expecting Captain Nemo to pop up.
Yeah.
There's Captain Nemo.
Okay, so next we get to, I'm assuming this is still an incomplete project. This is ID Institute's Jungle Shrine. All right, so I'll just go ahead and read off his intro that he wrote at the top. Here you leave Universal Orlando Resort. Immerse yourself in the atmosphere of the jungle. Not long ago, this jungle was overcome with the torrential rain and storms. But after the hardships, it then experienced a blessing from the gods of the water. It became a rainforest like no other, with beautiful rocks, waterfalls, streams, ponds. Come experience the incredible immersive theming of Jungle Shrine, and explore and find all the thrills and fun it has to offer. And you guys want to know what the M. Night Shyamalan twist of this project is?
What?
There's no thrills and fun to be had on this website.
Oh, no.
God, we're going hard today.
I'm just going to check and click around again just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure literally all these links are just broken.
They are broken.
It's the last one of them.
It is an M. Night Shyamalan.
Critic hat on. What are you talking about? These links work.
But not for me.
They go to dead pages.
Wait, what? Cave of the Earth. Cave of the Earth is
okay,
one.
yeah, Sacred Springs works.
Cave of the Earth is one.
Cave of the Earth is one.
One.
Cave of the Earth works.
Oh, I'll be damned.
Cave of the Earth is one. Okay, now I see. Yeah, is one.
Cave of the Earth is one.
That's the most insightful thing we've heard from any armchair imagineering project.
Kind of sounds a little cultic.
Oh. Nature's Habitat. We have a picture of a castle.
Yeah, yeah, that really threw me off. Oh god.
And it's not even like a jungle castle. I mean, this is a castle down in Europe.
It looks like a college. I'm pretty sure that was a college.
And I think that might be is that Cambridge or Oxford?
It wouldn't surprise me.
The colors are off, but it's one of those English colleges.
Yeah, or like a New England
So yeah,
college.
there's very little to go on here. I'll go ahead and read the one section that he has fully completed, Sacred Springs. Let's see. Sacred Spring is the first pool that guests will see as they enter. As the story goes, the jungle was overwhelmed with rain, but then finally saw a light. This small pool is an incredibly themed area with rockwork, trees, mist, fog, and small waterfalls. Features a hot tub, the only one in the park. Ooh, that's going to get competitive.
That's gonna
When you
yeah.
when you visit,
four-person hot tub. I'm sorry.
I can just picture crowd control issues up the wazoo with that.
I have armed guards at it.
I'm just picturing it like any Disney resort when you're trying to get to the hot tub and it's like, great, there's 10 people in there.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the
people in a
room.
four-man? Perfect.
Okay, so when you visit the Jungle Shrine Water Park, be sure to stop by Sacred Springs. The theming is unlike any water park. Will move you and let you realize that this is one unique jungle. Okay, so let's talk about the just the core theme that he has going on, which is essentially what I'm picking up is an over-flooded rainforest. You guys at least like that idea, like where he's going with?
I like the
interesting.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a nice kind of play on the whole like rainforest concept. It's like a rainforest that's literally been flooded out. It almost kind of feels like something that Disney would do with one of their water parks. So I kind of wish we would have gotten to see more. Kind of a shame.
Yeah.
But he was in Hawaii, so I guess it's understandable that, amidst all the relaxation and
He should have built a Hawaiian water park.
Well, he couldn't because he had to build one for Universal Florida.
That's
You're
exactly
saying-
the point. I could be
But one with a Hawaiian theme.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that might have been nice.
I mean, people love the Polynesian.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Okay, and now we get to my project, which is the very poorly titled, in my opinion, DreamWorks Waterworks. Yeah.
Yeah. Naming was not your best on this.
No, it was not at all. I just couldn't get it out of my head because I grew up with Windsor Waterworks and DreamWorks Waterworks.
You
So,
could call it
yeah.
Dream Waterworks.
Dream Waterworks. I played around with that a little bit. What do you guys?
I like the approach that you took of making it kind of like a development blog.
8 pieces of information, kind of seeing how the whole thing would have come together, like in terms of how they would have presented it.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yes, definitely.
I'm sorry, that was a loaded question.
I mean, like I said, I really like how I like the development plan. I like seeing how people are actually going to implement it and kind of following that sometimes.
Mhm.
So seeing that in a way and seeing you follow the progress of the park is actually really kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I mean, of course, I have to give props to ID Institute because he did a very similar project at the Merge. But, yeah, what I was going for was really just kind of and, of course, it was kind of a loophole around the whole, you need to make a website thing. So, I've been working with blogs for a while now, so I figured this would be a good avenue for it. But to tell you the truth, I really do like my 4 lands that I came up with, and I think they all complement each other very well. I like how Kung Fu Panda and Burke are kind of like the 2 thrill lands, and they have like the kind of the dueling kind of action slides that you see at any typical water park, except very well themed. And then you have kind of Shrek, which is kind of like the highlight area, which is a very well themed attraction. And then you have Madagascar, which is kind of the kiddie area with the lazy river. I like the way that all came together.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of worried about how many of your employees are going to commit suicide from having to hear, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it.
That's why Tiki only hires the deaf.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
It works. Gets the job done.
I would not hire Nina Acosta. You absolutely understand that reference.
You know it.
No. Well, I don't know. I thought I had a good line. What do you guys think of the idea of having, like, the kind of simulated mud that you slid down for Shrek?
I think it would be fun, but I could just see it going bad for some reason. I don't know why. Or the really embarrassing photos of nothing but, like, dark streaks running down your leg.
Right. Well, I'm saying, once you hit the pool, you wash everything off.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't my best work, but I think the attraction lineup came together okay. I mean, I'm not, it's not something like I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, this was my top project of the season. But, for what it was, I liked it. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have anything else to say about that?
No, I mean, it was definitely it was really interesting and it worked well, I feel.
Okay.
I'm just picturing how massive your water park is.
Yeah, I kind of went, yeah, 75 acres is a little extreme. It's
little?
A little extreme. Yeah, I know.
The Magic Kingdom's 107.
Yeah, well, I wanted it to be...
I think your water park might actually be bigger than Disneyland.
Isn't DCA something like 75?
Bigger. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I wanted it to be I wanted it to be roughly the same size as DCA. That's kind of what I was going for. And I know even that's too big, but
your water park's half the size of Disneyland. I was wrong.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's see. Next project that we have going on, we have T-Cool's project. This was what I thought was going to be the best one of the bunch. I thought for sure T-Cool had immunity here. And to my surprise, he actually got 4th place. And this is, again, something where I very much would disagree with R. Michael on. So he did Fantasy. And Fantasy, it's an interesting concept. It's basically kind of like combining sort of like fairy tale aesthetics with like island aesthetics in a way. And I like it. I thought that was kind of a unique vision. Like, it wasn't an IP. It wasn't something generic like a volcano or an island or a rainforest. I like that he kind of did some world building here. So
there's a more button. I didn't realize there was a more button. The park seemed small, and then I found more. I was like, oh.
No, yeah, I think this is by far. I think this is by far the most well developed out of all the projects, I'd say.
It's very fleshed out. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah, he has the let's see, just going quickly through the land.
Enchanted Glen.
The village. The village is just kind of a nice little entryway, kind of a fairy tale sort of main street with some shops. We have the Mystic Woods. Let's see, what's at the Mystic Woods? Yeah, this is all stuff I like. Yeah, we have the Lazy River. We have the Griffin Tower, which I'm assuming is going to be a vertical drop slide, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And then a spring ride, a dueling slide. So basically what all this is it's taking kind of like the core water park essentials, but I feel like instead of Vipera just being like, yeah, they're here, what T-Cool is doing and he's applying them in a very realistic way and a very impressive way. And so I
love how he's using the Lazy River almost like a monorail, to be honest, to take you from section to section.
Well, I think in the best water park designs, I think the Lazy River is crucial for sure.
And we just got a message from T-Cool. It looks like the reason for his 4th place, quote unquote, is for typos, editing, and other minor things.
I mean, I don't know. I took creative writing for 3 semesters, and I honestly don't really see all that many typos. It's not a big deal to me, and I'm the one that would usually notice stuff like that. So I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay, so we got the Great Fairy Tree Pond. I really like the idea of the Dwarf Mine Coaster, just using kind of the water coaster technology that we've seen lately, put to good use. That was really good. Let's see, some other stuff. We have Cursed Cove, I thought was interesting. It's all themed around Merlin, I'm assuming. We have the famous drop water slides that we have now, where you get into kind of like the kind of glass tube and then just drop. So we've got some of that. Some theme stuff too. Some interesting theme stuff like Call of the Sirens, which looks like it's kind of a little bit of a mermaid themed kind of family water slide, which is interesting. And it has just enough detail to where I could actually like see it working and it's not overblown. And then
I like it. I think the Call of Siren is actually understated in this. I think a lot of attention. He's pushing the ideas of water parks here, and it's not something you see in water park design.
Yeah, and then we have Mount Lava, which is just kind of like where all the dragons are, and that kind of makes sense. We have some dragon-related slides and whatnot, and as a whole, I think this is a very strong project.
I think this might be one of my favorite works I've seen out of Tiki this entire competition.
I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, I mean, Tiki's always been someone who he has a lot of really good individual ideas, maybe has a tougher time kind of getting them down on paper. All this is really high quality when it comes to getting his ideas down on paper. This is some of his best work, I'd agree. Okay, and now we get to a project where I honestly don't know if I'm just stupid or what, because I have no idea how to navigate this website. Zwyland's Wolf River State Park. So I'm very confused about. I am so confused about this project. I'm sorry. So we get this kind of exposition at the beginning about the state park. I'm assuming this is all fictional. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we go to home, and this is where the project kind of loses me, because we get to this map.
You just click on the various areas.
I'm trying.
The colored areas?
It's hard to navigate. It's really hard to navigate. I mean, okay, I've got it now. I've got it down now, but what my problem was every time I kept zooming in and out. Okay, now I kind of understand it more. Okay. I thought it was just something I was doing, and that's the case. Okay, so I still don't necessarily think visually this map gives us any sort of an idea of where things would be. It's very it's very, I don't know. Like, I think it's a good idea from a presentation perspective. I don't think it was handled well, because basically I'm just at the mercy of just kind of clicking around random spatches of color and seeing what comes up. And it's just, it is not translating what the project is to me in the slightest. So sorry, Zwy, it's like you're usually fantastic at this kind of stuff, and you did get second place on the project, but what do you guys think?
I'm trying to figure out this project, the map so far, where we're at.
It's difficult, right?
Because it looks like we destroy a Best Western parking lot.
It's not a ton of detail.
No.
A Red Lobster. Oh no, we're taking out a Red Lobster too when we're doing this.
Come on.
No, not the Red Lobster.
I see. I mean, I get why he built it there, and then destroying Wet and Wild. I don't know. The map seems, in this situation, seems to be more of a hindrance than a plus.
Right, right.
I like how he used it to organize it, and I like how you click the different areas. But it
was a good idea in terms of presentation. It just, in terms of execution, I was just lost.
I think he would have been better with just a flat map with it over top of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Versus making it on top of the Google Maps platform.
But in terms of the actual idea, though, kind of making just this fictionalized kind of state park, Joker, this is one of the most iconic projects from So You Want to Be an Imagineer. I'm thinking right back to PL7764's winning Season 6 project, which is called Twin Peaks Wilderness Resort. That was a fantastic tour de force in terms of, like, yeah, we got nature trails, we got stuff like that, all man-made, really well-done project, won the guy the win, even though he was kind of quiet throughout the season, so there's a little So You Want to Be an Imagineer history for you guys. All right, but are we done with rounding up these 5 projects?
I believe so.
I believe so. Okay, so here we get to the interesting stuff. So, all right, so Jokers.
Yeah?
Let's talk about how you were in our alliance and also in the Boxtano alliance. How was that working out for you?
That was fun. It's always fun. Nothing was really happening.
Okay, so were the Boxtanos kind of like trying to unite everyone against the Scleronas?
No, not really. No, we were concerned
really?
about ourselves, really.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything specifically that you did within the Know-It-Alls. Can you think of anything?
I mean, I talked to Little Giants, but that didn't really amount to anything.
Little Giants would have been really interesting if he would have stuck around.
It would have been. He would have been.
There would have been some really interesting plans. Really, like, I can't even fully say that I would have stuck with ID Institute over Little Giants if I'm talking completely honestly.
Yeah.
Because he was just a player where he was the perfect combination of before the merge, when he basically just dropped off the face of the earth, he was a perfect combination of he tried just enough to where he wasn't looked at as lazy, but he also wasn't looked at as a threat.
Yeah.
And he obviously was on the same strategic wavelength as we were.
Oh, yeah.
And so basically, for a time, there was a Final 3 that was in place between Jokers, myself, and Little Giants. I don't know if he messaged you about that, but he definitely talked to me about that.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, say it again?
The Final 3 being myself, you, and Little Giants.
He talked to me about that, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely something that we were considering in the Final 5. We wanted to get England and Zwei out. Like, that was the main thing.
We were talking about that as well.
And then after that, we kind of figured, okay, Tiki and Vipra are kind of like on the out, so maybe get rid of Vipra because he's better in terms of presentation, leave us with a Final 5 of Tiki and IDI, at that point blindside IDI potentially. So all this might have happened if Little Giants would have actually stayed in the game, but since he didn't stay in the game, it's all speculation and whatnot, but let's talk about the post-merge alliance that I ended up getting into that, dare I say it, maybe cost a Boxtano the win. The fact that I was in this alliance and infiltrating you guys the whole time. So let's talk it over. Who were the members? We had Zwyland, Tiki, myself, Jokers, and Little Giants, right? So those were the 5 people at the merge, meaning the 3 people on the outs were England and IDI, who everyone assumed was a couple on Sklarona, and then Vipra, who basically everyone on and Vipra, if you're watching, I'm sorry, it's too late for strategy right now. I mean, you've been a target from your own alliance since the beginning, buddy. Like, it doesn't matter what they've been feeding you. Your alliance has wanted you gone, and I'm just going to get that out in the open right there because I promised this show would be full of revelations, and damn it, I'm going to live up to that promise.
I think England won.
What?
He may or may not have just posted a GIF saying, "I'm sorry, did my back hurt your knife?"
So yeah, it's like I specifically remember way in the early part of the merge. Okay, there were some interesting politics that came up literally within the first few hours of this getting set up. Now I'm going to rewind a little bit because there's some other crucial information we have to establish. The other piece of crucial information, Joker, what was your thought process when you heard that IDI had the idol for your own personal gameplay?
I mean, I didn't really have any thought process about it. I'm glad that he told us, and it was always something that I was keeping in my back pocket. And I always thought if it got to that point, we could, like, smoke him out, and and then take it from there.
Let's smoke the monster out! I had a much different thought process. At this point, I was going into Zwei's alliance. I knew that Zwei was the head honcho here. I knew that he was the guy that was kind of socially the ringleader. So I was going to suck up to Zwei. That was my priority number one heading into this alliance. Didn't mean I didn't want him gone. I wanted him gone arguably more than England, because at least with England, I knew solidly that England was on my side, and he was going to be a bigger target than me. So with Zwei, he made a couple really interesting political moves that I think set the tone for the rest of his game going forward in those first couple of hours. One of those things was that he made the bold declaration that if we're going to be the five, meaning the alliance of myself, Joker, T-Cool, Zweiland, and Little Giants, if we're going to be the five, then England deserves to be number 6. I'm pretty sure every single other person besides Zwei was absolutely floored when he made that comment. Absolutely floored about it. Because here we were talking this whole time, talking the whole pre-merge about what a threat England is. And then it's like, no, we're going to take along England because England's a personal friend of mine and he deserves it. At that point, Little Giants and I, we got on a show and we were like, hell no. Like, Viper, I believe you were on a show where me and Little Giants were kind of talking about this stuff behind the scenes, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not Viper.
Hey, Voxel.
Oh. I work with two blue. I work with two blue people as well, so it gets very confusing. At least I haven't called AdvBlueDude Blue Dragon 5 yet.
You haven't done that in a while, and I'm proud of you.
No, I haven't.
Now that he's mentioned it, it's going to occur.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I can remember some of those discussions, though.
Yeah. So the second thing that Zweiland did, which really put everyone off, was he was basically like, okay, we'll get to the final 5, then no more strategy, guys. No more strategy. And it's just like, no, the final 5 is when the strategy starts.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go from 5 to 3 without strategy. It's impossible. So, Little Giants and I, we knew right away. Zweiland had ulterior motives. He was running the show, and we wanted to get him out. Our idea we pitched was that we knew that IDI had the idol. At that point, I told Little Giants that IDI had the idol, which I knew was a big risk. I knew that could have been that could potentially blow up in our faces. Little Giants could have told Zweiland about it and all that, but he didn't end up doing that, so more on that later. But my idea was to throw the votes on ID Institute, have ID Institute play the idol, bam, Zweiland's out of the game, and what's better is that none of us get any blood on our hands for voting for Zweiland. I thought it was a fantastic move. Unfortunately, we had to wait a couple weeks. So, essentially, we had England, who everyone was waiting on bated breath to see if England was going to win the first immunity. When he didn't, I was just like, all right, look, we can do whatever you guys want. We can do Vipera. I'm pretty sure Vipera was maybe the main target besides England, or Little Giants was.
I remember some people talking about Vipera.
Yeah, we could have done Vipera, but I said my overwhelming preference was England.
Yeah.
And Zweiland, I don't know if it's a political move on his end or what. I'd like to ask him about it in like a text interview or something one day if he's up for it. Like he did get on the program and he did say, all right, let's vote out England. So he must have known. He must have known that him suggesting keeping England until Final Six was no bueno with everyone else. So that was an interesting little thing. So that meanwhile, I have IDI off to the side a little bit. We're still chatting in our little conversation. We call our alliance the Know-It-Alls based on the Survivor podcast. I think I already mentioned that. And 7th place was easy because 7th place, Little Giants just went out, so that was basically a free round for everyone. Then we get to 6th place, and this is where the magic happens. So I start a personal private message with T-Cool and Zwyland, 2 people that I've been working with since the swap, and I basically pitch, look, I think that the 3 of us are very strong competitors. I think that we deserve to go against each other in the final 3. It's a really good idea. And I also think that ID Institute, as a Survivor fan, is a strategist. I think he's a strong social player. I think he could win in a jury vote, and I think we have to get him out. And they bought it. And that was where they lost the game, when they believed me that I wanted to get IDI out. So, so from that point forward, you know, it was basically just an exercise of keeping the plan in motion, you know, going through everyone's kind of fears. Here's the interesting thing, though. Here's the thing that I kind of went underhanded with both alliances about. And IDI doesn't even know this yet. So I told IDI that they had already known that he had the idol because of Little Giants. IDI, in reality, I told T-Cool and Zwyland about the idol. I wanted to get this move on as soon as possible because I did not want any last-minute idol shenanigans happening at Final 5. I didn't know if Zwy had an idol. That was on my mind. I didn't want us to wait until Final 5 to get Zwy out for a number of reasons. He could have won immunity at Final 5. I wanted to get him out as soon as we could, and I knew that the best way to get him out would be the idol. So I had to throw the idol under the bus 1 round sooner than IDI would have. So that was all on me. The whole getting the idol out as a threat and, you know, and suggesting, like, okay, he has 2 rounds to do it. Let's hope he doesn't play it this round, and if he doesn't, we can get him off. That was all me. That was all me. So I'll give myself the credit for that. ID Institute, of course, he's done a lot of social game, whereas I've done a lot of strategy game. So it'll be interesting if we make it to the end and get to the jury phase. But then the scary thing that happened was that Zwyland was smart enough to have someone, and that someone being Vipra, throw a vote towards Jokers, who was an inactive, and Jokers, as an inactive, he got a vote for himself already. So the vote ended up being 2 to 2 to 2. 2 for IDI, 2 for Jokers, and 2 for Zwyland. IDI played his idol. For a brief second, it looked like the idol didn't have effect, and IDI was on the outs anyways. And that changed. You know, Michael kind of realized, like, whoops, okay, yeah, him playing the idol means he has immunity. I hate to say it, but at that point, I hated to do it, but I was ready to vote out ID Institute at that point if he was, in fact, going, and if he was in fact vulnerable, then I just didn't want to throw my vote away. Oh yeah, and there's a whole fake screenshot thing where I voted for IDI, and then I took a screenshot of that, pasted it into a Paint document, and then immediately after I went to Michael. Just kidding, I'm voting for Zwyland. So I would have a physical vote to show T-Cool and Zwyland. That was IDI's idea, so I'll give him credit for that. And then in the revote, IDI did his part. He really did kind of a strategic, like, rallying cry to Vipra and T-Cool to switch their vote. It was either going to be Joker or Zwy at that point. And he basically said, look, if you don't switch your vote to Zwy, then he is just going to run away with this thing. And I don't exactly know who voted which way, but at the end of the day, Zwy did get voted out. Whew, and that's my monologue. Yeah, someone talk.
No, I don't know what to say. I never know what to say about these strategy things.
I'm not a strategist, so I'm on the same boat. Someone's been busy, though, I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of, me getting into that post-merge alliance and just sowing in the trust with everyone, while at the same time, making sure that IDI wasn't going to get voted out too soon, and just knowing that we have that idol in play, the bullet. That's really where this Y elimination came from. It was something that we've been planning for a good long while now. Like, ever since IDI got the idol, we were essentially being like, okay, we can use this some point down the line, throw the votes on you, and get rid of the power player. And this was just manifestation of that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn it! Say something.
I don't have nothing to say. It worked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is just kind of, it's the game.
It is, absolutely.
I'm
just glad that people are taking things like this well.
I'm so glad about that, too.
Because we have had instances where, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I should mention a little bit of my pre-merge stuff, too. Like, I mean, Matt, I already went over the elimination with Matt, but hey, now Matt and I are cool now because we're talking all about Kendrick Lamar and the discussion thread and everything. So yeah, props for Matt for being a fellow rap fan like me. So, but with Matt, I could totally just sense that he was trying to start alliances on the other side and that I wasn't part of his main alliance. If I was part of his main alliance, he would have contacted me sooner than he did contact me. So he was a problem that needed to be nipped in the bud. Me disassociating myself from England was definitely a political move that I knew I wanted to make because as much as I wanted to keep him till the merge, out of anyone in the cast, he was the one that was most likely to go on an immunity run to the end. So I did not want to give him any sort of grace period when it came to a time that he lost. So I was very out in the open about it, and that was kind of me and IDI's plan, was for me to kind of be like the open person, to be like kind of the person who betrayed Sklarona in a way, if that makes any sense. So that way, like, publicly it seems like I'm the big Sklarona traitor for voting out England. So, yeah, lots of factors in play here. We still got a lot of game left to play, believe it or not. Jokers, I can't guarantee that you're going to be the next one voted out, buddy. I really can't. Because it just all depends on a multitude of factors.
Yeah, it does.
And at this point, IDI and myself, we are obviously a big alliance. We're the power couple of the season, as I promised R. Michael in the first PM that I sent him about the alliance. I was like, R. Michael, get ready for the power couple of the season. I think we lived up to that expectation. I'd like to hope we did, at least.
What's your couple name?
What's our couple name?
Yeah, gotta have a couple name.
Well, our alliance is the Know-It-Alls.
That's fun. You gotta have a couple name. Oh, well.
ID Tiki, I don't know.
There we go. Okay, that sounds like you're IDing a dead body. No, never mind.
So it's not Tiki IDI Institute?
Tiki IDI. I like that.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, let's look at the final 5. We have Jokers. Jokers, do you think you have any possibility to win?
Yes. I got this in the bag.
You're waiting to pull out Waterworld, aren't you?
Damn straight.
Okay, Vipra, I think he's an interesting kind of dark horse in all this because out of all the players, besides maybe England, I think he was the only one who really never actively participated in strategy. And I just blew the lid off right there, where it's like, I know that he was being strung along by the Baxtanos. It's like, hey, let's just pagong all the, let's just take out all the Sklarona people one by one. And whereas that was not the case at all with what was actually going down, because I had steadily assimilated myself into that group. So Viper is an interesting one. He's definitely one where it's like, it's harder to talk strategy with him. He's more so just a diehard Imagineer. But we'll see what happens. He is a threat, though, because of his presentation level. What do you think of IDI as kind of an in-gamer, like after having heard of my game-long alliance with him and everything like that?
I think it could still make it to finals.
I think everyone's really up in the air right now, to be honest.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if anyone, I am the closest to being eliminated.
Yes, you are.
For obvious reasons. But other than that, like, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's all...
IDI and myself are not going to vote for each other.
Okay.
I'll just put that out there right now.
So you think.
No, I know. IDI and myself, like, if you want to get to the final three, you're going to have to go with IDI and myself because we're two locked-in votes. We're not going to vote for each other. Joker, are you planning on actually doing a project so that you can actually vote?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
You can neither confirm. Yeah, well, let's see if you get that Florida project up.
Oh, I've already... no, that's not happening. I want to do it. Camera shy.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, IDI, I'm just gonna...
Oh, damn.
What?
Everything's on the floor.
You're worried about Alfred E. Joker?
Yes.
Well, that makes one person on this channel that's worried about Alfred E. Joker. Yeah, IDI and myself, like I said, I'm just going to get cocky here because I think we ruled the game. I, however, do not think that anyone should go in just thinking we're automatically going to rule the jury vote, though, because we play definitely from a hardcore strategic perspective, and it's a question of whether or not you guys, the vast majority of players on the season, besides maybe maybe Little Giants, really don't look at the game through the lens that myself and IDI look through the game. So it should be interesting. And then lastly, we have T. Cool, who has been kind of the underdog the whole time. What do you guys think of T. Cool?
I told you from the beginning when you first pulled me on what I thought of every player. I said T. Cool's going to be the one to watch out for.
Do you think T. Cool has a chance to win if he makes the jury?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of T. Cool and Vipra, who do you think is the bigger threat?
Vipra.
T. Cool.
All right, I'm just taking notes for my strategy. All right. Okay. That's done. Yeah, I mean, this has been a very revealing tribal council. This is essentially the second time I've been able to come on and do a mastermind speech at the end of a season of strategizing.
Yeah.
Joker, what do you think was more impressive, my gameplay here or my gameplay during Season 8?
Well, probably during Season 8?
Yeah.
Probably this one.
Probably this one, really?
Yeah.
I single-handedly took down the entire wildcard tribe.
Yeah, but still, I mean...
Single-handedly building up an unstoppable force on the All-Star side.
But also in that game, nobody else was strategizing.
At all. Very true.
Yeah.
Jesse Studios was strategizing, but he was with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I miss that guy. I miss them all.
Do you want to kind of talk about the fantasy draft a little bit?
Sure. I'm winning.
Yes, you are.
Because that's how it works. That's just the way things go.
That's the way you planned it.
It is, exactly.
So who do you still have alive?
I have IDI, I have Vipra, and you.
Yes, you have me because Little Giants was smart enough to switch me over to your side. So thank him for that.
Nope.
Then I have T. Cool, who I'm holding on to for dear life. And then I have you, and I'm probably going to lose to you pretty soon. So, how do you want to rank the fantasy draft? Do you think you've just automatically won at this point?
Can I say that?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, do you want to rank it in terms of, like, placement? Like, do you want to do a point system based on, like, who won immunity at which points and stuff? Because if we want to do stuff like that, then I could, like, get into it, do some math, work out a scoring system to really tell who won.
If you'd like to.
I'd like to. All right, I'll have something worked out by that for the end of the season.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah. Now you guys know. Now you guys know all the epic kind of strategic gameplay that's been going on, and I hope that it wasn't a bore, because I kind of rambled for about, I don't know, 20 minutes there about, like, I did this and I did this and I did this and I did this. But it's been great. I'd really like to thank R. Michael for putting this game on and for putting up with me and all my craziness, and I'd like to thank ID Institute for being my game-long alliance partner. And finally, I'd like to thank Zwyland for being so cool about his elimination. Seriously, one of the classiest eliminations I've seen on a game like this. So, with that in mind, this has been the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council. You guys want to send yourselves off?
Well, have a nice night. Yeah.
I can't pay for the mailing.
You can't pay for the mailing?
I can't pay for the mailing to send myself off.
Fair enough.
I'm so sorry.
And this has been another Imagineer Tribal Council. Oh way yo 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 way ya yo way yo yo way ya yo way yo yo way ya yo way yo yo way ya.